Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Kyle Henderson of Bama Football. Hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Today, we're talking about my bold predictions going into this pivotal road game against Mississippi State. I appreciate you guys being here. The way the defense played has me excited. I know it has you excited. 5 sacks on the quarterback, 8 quarterback hurries, and I think that momentum certainly carries into this next game against Mississippi State. If Alabama is able to bring the pressure on the quarterback, which I think they're going to. You look at the Pro Football Focus grades of Mississippi State, they're struggling on the offensive line just like Alabama was early on in the season. I think that Alabama's pass rush can get to Will Rogers. Now, I know that they're not a completely spread out team, and I know that they're more balanced in listening to Coach Saban and some of the players talk about Mississippi State. But I think that the defense can still have a big impact when bringing the pressure against the Bulldogs this coming Saturday night. Now, the major note is that Deontay Lawson is out for this game. He is their signal caller. Coach Saban was asked about his health status on Wednesday, and Saban didn't necessarily provide an update that was promising that he will play. We're told that he has a high ankle sprain, and, that's going to be what Alabama has to deal with. And the good news is, you have Jahad Campbell, who's playing at a very high level. You have Tresman Marshall, who's been playing well. And I think that Kendrick Blackshire is someone who is starting to really turn heads. And I'm excited to really see Kendrick Blackshire get more opportunities. He's actually has a pretty good grade on Pro Football Focus. He just hasn't played in that many snaps. So far, he's played in, I think, under 70 snaps, but he's been pretty impactful when he's got onto the field. When you look at this Alabama defense overall, Caleb Downs leads the team in tackles with 27. Deontay Lawson has 26 tackles. 2 of those are for a loss. Dallas Turner has 3.5 sacks. And then you have Kool-Aid and Terran Arnold, who have been playing at an elite level on at the corner position. Kool-Aid's grade, 80.4 in coverage. Terran Arnold, 80.0. Those guys are playing outstanding. Malachi Moore is also playing very well with a grade of 79.9. I think when you look to Alabama's offense, it's starting to find itself, and that's exciting. Look, Alabama has a lot of room to improve within the offensive side, and we understand that. But we can't deny that Jalen Milroe's ball, his deep ball, has been very successful. And I think when you look to his Pro Football Focus grade with his deep ball, it's 98, which is just outstanding. Now, his medium grade is only a 27.8, so such a dichotomy of statistics, right? With that said, he's thrown for 674 yards on the season, and he has 6 touchdowns for 3 interceptions. Alabama can run the football. They've proven that over the last 2 weeks. Against South Florida, Roydell Williams had over 100 yards. Jace had over 100 yards against Ole Miss. Any of these running backs can do damage. Now, they will be without Jam Miller for that first half, so look for an elevated role potentially within Justice Haynes, who is just a true freshman. But Jace and Roydell, they can tote the rock. Feed those guys. Take the air out of the game. Alabama can do just that. And then, of course, you know about Milroe's rushing ability on top of that. It looks like Terrence Ferguson is also going to be out for the offensive line. Now, that has not been officially reported, but that's kind of the way that it looks like going into this weekend against Mississippi State. Caden Proctor and Seth McLaughlin, those guys continue to struggle. I think we saw a little bit of improvement from Proctor in this last game, but their grades on Pro Football Focus are just very low. But we did see Elijah Pritchett come in and get some opportunities. So I think Alabama is still trying to figure out the best 5 out there. It's a unit that needs to improve. But I do think they did improve slightly against Ole Miss. Let me know if you agree with that. Got to get Jermaine Burton the football somehow. I know that this season he has 8 receptions for 189 yards, just averaging 47.3 yards per catch. And he's actually had 2 touchdowns called back. So he should have 4 touchdowns through this first part of the season. Other guys have been standing out. We saw freshman Jalen Hell turn heads last week with 2 big catches, and I thought that was good to see. And you got to continue to figure out how to get the tight ends the football, whether that's Robbie Oots or Dupree or Amari Niblack. Those guys need to catch the football. And I think what's happening with this 12 personnel, so 12 personnel means that you have multiple tight ends on the field. It's taking some wide receivers out of the equation. And that's up to Reese's system. So some of these wide receivers, you'll see them get hot and then you kind of won't hear from them. Like, for example, where has Kobe Prentice been, right? Started off really good and then he kind of has floated away. And I think you'll also have to get Isaiah Bond the football as well. He's leading the team in tackles right now. Let's talk about some bold predictions now. And I think when you look to the bold predictions for this particular team, you can go a couple different ways. I'm going to give you my defensive bold predictions, and then I'm going to give you my offensive bold predictions. So I'll start with the defensive bold predictions right now. When I look to Mississippi State, a team that I think is quality on the defensive side, I think that Alabama is going to be able to bring the pass rush once again. And I think Alabama is going to limit Mississippi State 10 points or less. I think the defense comes up big once again, and I think that continues throughout these next few games. I mean, Alabama's defense, this team is built on defense, and that's a good thing. Now, I know that Texas A&M's quarterback, he's out, and you have Max Johnson coming in. We'll talk about that next week. Very good quarterback. He's actually faced Alabama back in 2021 and threw for, I think, over 200 yards. So he's a big quarterback coming in. Will Rogers for Mississippi State, he's a quality quarterback as well. And they have a balanced attack, and they have a really good running back as well. But I think Alabama's defense will be up to the task, and I'm actually predicting 2 turnovers in this particular game. On the offensive side, these are my bold predictions when you talk about the Alabama offense. I think that I'm going to go with 0 interceptions for Jalen Milroe. I think that Milroe takes another step forward. I think that this offense continues to find its identity. I think that the offensive line plays a little bit better. Now, look, it's going to be tough because Zach Arnett, Mississippi State's coach, is a defensive-minded coach, and I think that their defense is good. With that said, they do struggle in the secondary, especially with that deep ball. So I think that Jalen Milroe's deep ball, if they go that direction, can be successful again. That's something that I would be looking at if I'm Tommy Rees. I think that Alabama does run the football effectively as well. Jace, Roydell, Jalen Milroe, whatever combination it is, I'm going to say Alabama rushes for over 225 yards in this game. And as I stated, I think that Jalen Milroe's deep ball continues to be really good in this game against Mississippi State. My last bold prediction, I'm going to say that Alabama covers that spread of 11.5. I think that Alabama is going to win this game by 2 touchdowns. I think that that momentum that they had against Ole Miss in the second half is going to carry over into a tough road environment. We all know that Stark Vegas at Mississippi State with the cowbells and whatnot, it's a challenging environment to play, but I think the defense is able to spur some early game momentums, and that's going to allow for Alabama's offense to score early, and I think they're going to carry that momentum through the rest of the game. Look, this team needs to play 4 quarters. Coach Saban talked about the consistency of this team. We need to see the consistency from this team 100%. They have not played 4 quarters. In fact, the last 3 games that they played in Texas, South Florida, Mississippi, Ole Miss, they have not led in each of those games at the halftime point. They've had to make adjustments to be able to pull past South Florida and then again against Ole Miss. 4 quarters of play is what we really want to see. I want to hear from you inside the comment box. What is your bold prediction about this game on the offense, on the defense, maybe something else? I want to hear from you inside the comment box. I appreciate you guys being here. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next video right here on Bama Football on YouTube.